Good afternoon. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook and YouTube. Just go to your Facebook page and look us up, or hit see first to see and hear all the great programs that we have here on WNHHLP. And just a reminder, Cannabis Corner is also streaming live on the Greenhaven Media Facebook page and procannabismedia.com. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Monday, December 15th. Welcome to Cannabis Corner. I'm your host, Joe LaChance, Joe the Weed Guy. And I am joined here, of course, by the one and only Uncle Lou, Farmer Lou. How are you today?
Hey, how's it going, sir? Maintaining, pushing forward, just kind of doing what we can as the day presents itself.
That's it, man. We had our first snowfall this
That's right.
weekend. I was out shoveling the snow yesterday just so I could get out the house. But, that's part of the rite of passage of the seasons
New
here.
England, yeah, brother.
Connecticut and New England. But we got a packed show today. We got a lot of guests coming on. I want to give a shout out, of course, to our sponsor, Gabe from Metatron, and he's going to be coming on and joining us. But before I start, I want to bring everybody on because I did want to mention something that. So right now we have Joe Raymond, Duncan Shaw, right now with us, and they are both from the Goblets of Fire. And they announced their winners this weekend. And we did have one of the winners on the line, but I don't see him anymore. Hopefully he'll come back on. But they did that great quote unquote not competition a couple weeks ago that I was a judge on and Gabe was a judge on. And they announced the winners this weekend. And I kind of wanted to spotlight the winners, the growers, the whole event itself. But before I started that, and before I got into it, one thing I wanted to mention was we lost a member of our community. I assume it was at the end of last week or over the weekend, but it was Kaylee Marshall, who was the life partner of Brandy Marshall. And for those of you who might remember, she had the business Bees Twisted Eats. She was also a student of Lou's and mine and Kibra's. She went to our classes, and she was an early member of the High Bazaar community and a really valued member, just an overall good person. She lost her partner over the last couple of days, and I wanted to send out, some thoughts, prayers, and some sympathy out to Brandy there and the rest of her friends and family. For their loss, but not only for their loss, but for the community's loss as well. But I know we all knew her, but do you guys have any thoughts about? I know you, Joe. You'd mentioned you just
They were
seen them
just,
recently.
and I apologize if the sound is coming in a little crazy. I'm traveling to Maine to bring our the hash rosin goblet to our winner, but Callie and Brandy were, they were like always a touch of positivity to add to any time you'd be at the bazaar, or just seeing them around. They had the restaurant in Milford for a little bit, and it was just like one of those constants in the community, especially when the High Bazaar first started going and it moved from Treadwell to Crestway. I would always enjoy a nice warm macaroni and cheese and a warm smile and hug from the two of them. So, my heart goes out to Brandy right now and Callie's whole family. I know they're from a tight-knit community out here in the New Haven, Camden area. So, and it's very sad. And I got to see Callie about 2 weeks ago at Drip House, and I was, it was really nice, and her, she was going through a lot, and she's at rest now. But my heart goes out to the whole family.
Yeah, yes, it was. So, all right, Duncan, how about you?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I was also at Drip House a few weeks ago, seeing Callie, seeing Brandy. Again, to echo everyone's sentiments, like heartfelt condolences and sending love and strength to Brandy and their families. And this is a very difficult part of the human journey, is at the end of stage, with life, whether someone's sick or not, or whatever they're going through. And I know our community is feeling this hard, meeting the both of them years ago and seeing their progress inside and outside the community space, in the restaurateur space, providing meals for those in need along the way. Both just very beautiful and compassionate individuals. And Callie will be dearly missed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I had them on the show a couple times and visited them at their restaurant that they had down there, and it was always great to see, her growth from, just starting out as a curious chef who wanted to learn how to infuse cannabis into her food, and also so she could help her partner get well. That was really her motivation for getting into the industry, and to see her hang on for that long, it was a heartwarming thing. And like you said, Duncan, she's at rest now, and I want to send my condolences out to Brandy and everybody there. But all right, so with that said, let's get into it. So I wanted to just read this real quick because I liked what you had to say. The goblet has spoken, but this doesn't happen without the community. Huge congratulations to our best show winners, true stewards of the craft who set the bar for what New England cannabis culture represents. Now, do you mind if I announce the winners, or do you want to? I'm take that as a yes. So for old school flower, Sour Kush was the winner, and that, my friend, was my personal favorite too. That was my pick for the number one. That was grown by Face Flavors, and I'll let you guys tell us a little bit more about the growers after I just get through this here real quick. And then the New School flower, which Gabe should be coming on soon, which he was a judge of, was the Sherb Cream Pie. So I'd be interested to see how he had rated that. And now the hash rosin, which was the big attraction there, was Fleur de Funk from Elm Cultivation. Now, I understand we have Elm Cultivation with us. Okay, we do. All right. So, and the pizza battle winner was Frank Pepe's. And so, Goblets of Fire wants to extend a deep thank you to everyone who helped bring this together behind the scenes, especially Gabe from Metatron Homegrow, Custom 420 Safai, and Looks Legitimate for the dope flyer, and Mary Melts and Jake Jeeks Glass for the beautiful work and on the physical goblets. And I know you're both in your cars. I hope you brought one. Oh, you did show them on the air last time. With every judge, entrant, collaborator, and supporter who showed up, made this event that it was. This wasn't just a competition. It's the ones that I wrote celebration of craft, culture, and community from the bottom of the goblet. All right. Thank you all. Okay. So, Joe, now that it's over, were you satisfied? Were you happy with the results?
Oh my God, beyond satisfied. At first we were worried that we weren't gonna get enough entries in, and then, they as it gets closer and the deadline approaches, that's when the entries really started coming in, and we really didn't want to put a border on this in terms of like making it too local to just Connecticut, so we wanted to extend it to the whole New England. I mean, this community, at the very least extends itself all across this eastern seaboard right now. So, we put a good call to arms out, and we really got people from all over this region, New England, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Maine, and I was really happy about how it ended up faring out, because I just wanted to, me and Duncan wanted to find the honest to God winners. We didn't want any hype playing into it. We didn't want any, even on the scoring sheets, I mentioned on there, if you recognize the friend's work, please don't talk to others about that friend or point out that it's a friend's work. We wanted this to be totally blind in terms of people playing favorites, and in terms of that, it really worked out well. And I looked at everything myself, and I mean, there was so many good entries. There really was. And I personally, after trying a lot of them, couldn't really decide myself. It was so tough. So, but I do think that the true winners did bubble to the top. The ones that did win really were great expressions of their categories. And and the other thing is, the winners came from each winner was from a different part of New England. So, I mean, it was awesome. I was really, really happy.
Nice. So, before we bring Matt on, who was the winner? Go lower your volume. Yeah. Before we bring Matt on, who was the winner, I wanted to bring Gabe in. Gabe is from Metatron Homegrow. Gabe Zamorano, everybody knows him. And he's also the sponsor of the show. Gabe was also a judge. So Gabe and I were judges on this. And he judged the new school flower. And you saw the winner, Gabe, right?
Yeah, congratulations, bud.
And what did you think of that?
That was good. It was good. I had a great time. It was nice to see everybody. I mowed through 22 strains. I think there was 20 total, but it was good. It was good. It was some interesting strains. It was funny how there was a maple, number 9, I thought was great. And the person across me didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So any critiquing anybody hears from it, it's to each their own, and
it is. It's
preference, and there was a lot of good strains. I smoked all the leftover, so everything was good.
Yeah, me too. I had a great time with those leftovers. That was my birthday. I smoked all the leftovers on my birthday.
Yeah, it was.
But all right. So Duncan, we have with us. I'm understanding the winner of the hash rosin. So would you like to introduce Matt here to us, and then we'll talk a little bit about his cultivation.
Yeah, sure.
Craft.
So if Matt's on the other line, then that's Relax Rolls, and he was actually the new school strain winner for his Sherb Cream cake.
Oh, well, there you go, Gabe.
So we wanted to, again, a big thank you to Gabe for both the Meriden and Milford locations being drop-off points that certainly amplified our bandwidth to receive more northern submissions from people from Massachusetts and in Maine and stuff. So, again, as this competition grows and evolves over the next seasons, we're definitely looking for people to partner with in terms of taking in entries and things like that. But without further ado, the new school flower strain winner, Matt. Give it up for him.
Matt. All right. And what was the name of his farm again?
So his Insta handle is Relax Rolls.
Relax Rolls. So Matt, how you doing? Congratulations.
Good. Thank you.
And where are you out of?
I live in Connecticut.
Nice. All right. A Connecticut winner. New school, baby.
Yep.
All right. That's excellent. So I guess you got the overwhelming support of the judges, and that's a good thing because apparently they had like 22 strains that they had to go through. So you were the best out of those. Yep. Gabe, what was your opinion? Feeling. What was your personal opinion of that strain?
I don't remember. I'm not going to lie which one was which. There were so many. But, like I said, they were all pretty good. I really enjoyed it, and I gave some critiquing, but it's kind of hard to judge, with the high. So I just gave everybody a 1 because how do you judge the high from each one? But a lot of it it was all great. It was all great. So
Good, 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 good. So now, what got you in? How long have you been growing? What got you into it? And like, how many different strains do you work with? What genetics do you
Oh,
do
so
genetics? I want to hear everything.
I've been growing since probably 2016-ish. Currently I work at a facility in Massachusetts,
Oh, nice.
Breathe Free. So we've been doing that at scale for about 3 years now, and we got 3 flower rooms open over there. So we're constantly going through genetics and hunting
And
things and seeing rooms come down. And, the stuff I entered was just from a tent at my house, but,
yeah.
so that was
yeah,
your personal grow, but you're
yeah,
also in the industry in mass.
yes, yes.
So that's great. That's great. So that shows that at
I
least in
gotta,
Massachusetts they hire decent people to work in their grow
yes,
facilities.
yes. I don't know about every spot, but where we are, at least.
So
Right.
Matt, I don't know, Joe and Duncan, if you guys can let them know, I'm giving a $50 gift card to all the winners.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Thank you.
great.
Yeah, I got $50 credit here, an Orange or Meriden, just so you know. But so congratulations.
Perfect. Thank you again.
All right. So that's a nice little perk. Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That is awesome.
yeah.
So you grew this out of a tent in your house. How many other different varieties did you grow this year? And was this the only one you submitted, or did you submit
This
more than one?
this was the only submission I put into that. For Goblets of Fire, I took a cup at NECAN this year for pre-roll. First place pre-roll in home grow. First place pre-roll in
Nice.
the rec. That's what I'm trying to push out here in Mass is some culture stuff, just getting hand rolls on the market. No one else is really doing that type of thing. So I've been working with Breathe Free, getting hand rolls on the market. Recently just did a collab with them and Sweetgrass for hash holes. Those should be hitting the market in a couple weeks.
Up in Mass, right?
In Mass, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I don't know. We're, like I said, constantly hunting at work. I see it all day long, and then I come home and do that in my little free time.
Well, of
So I got
course.
stuff to smoke, and yeah, I really enjoy doing it. I'm passionate about the plant.
Well, obviously.
Takes a lot
So,
of my time. Thank you to my wife for dealing with me.
You got to find the good one.
Yeah.
very true. Very
Hey,
true.
hey, Matt, I got a question for you. What are your feelings and or your colleagues' feelings at Breathe Free with the ballot initiative to repeal adult use in Massachusetts?
I don't know. You can try to just not think about that type of thing and hope that it doesn't happen. I couldn't imagine them throwing the money away that they get off of taxes and everything like that. I think what would happen is they'll probably just try to make these rec grows switch over to medicinal grows, and then everybody has to get med cards. So it's like a money race
Backwards,
type of thing, But I don't really know exactly how it all goes.
I personally don't think the public. Remember, this is just a ballot initiative, so that just means it will be on the ballot. I don't think the public will go for it. I really don't. I think it's going to get voted down, even if it makes it to the ballot. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the majority of people want this around,
Yeah.
just off of jobs and having it available to them. I don't know why they would go backwards with that. It's hard to close Pandora's box once you get it open. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a shame, and this has kind of given me an overall distaste in my mouth for how the legalization has gone in not just Mass, but Connecticut and many other states, that we shouldn't be the activists, the people who, we shouldn't have to continue this fight every freaking year. It's just a continuous battle with, the government, no matter what state you're in. Now Massachusetts, now all the activists and all the advocates are going to have to go out there and convince the public, like they had to do in 2016 all over again,
Yeah,
to
you
vote
really do want
no.
this.
They really do that. And it's a shame that we have to continue to go through this, the members of the community. And now I'm looking, and I'm sure we all can chime in on this, that it looks like federal, reclassification may happen like very, very soon, which is going to throw a monkey wrench in everything.
I think it's going to help a lot of people, in terms of the businesses, because they'll be able to get their taxes will be much easier. The flow of money will be much easier. The thing about our country and our state, the government, the way politics work is, it's like a lot of these small little steps all the time, small steps, so you don't offend others or, whatever. So I think, personally, I think it's a good thing that they do, at the very least, reschedule. I'm sure Big Pharma and them will have a little more grip on things, and some of the bigger MSOs will really.
Well, that's what I worry about. Yeah, that's what my worry is.
There's no way around it at this point. That's what Trump's going to do. He's going to do what's best for the biggest businesses. So, I think that in terms of that, that's somewhat refreshing in a way, because I think it'll make, like I said, the flow of money for everyone a little easier. But everything else that comes along with it, we'll see.
Yeah, my whole thing is we're going to end up putting it in the hands of the FDA, which is going to change. The problem with cannabis, Joe. Yeah, there we go. The problem with cannabis is it's different from liquor, and it's different from a lot of other things. It has dual usage. It has triple usage. It's used as a recreational, social, adult use enhancer. It's also used as a medicine, and it's also used for industry. So it's got that triple threat on it, and all three of those areas are areas that the government loves to regulate and loves to squeeze as much money out as possible. Gabe, you're a hemp grower. My question to you is, do you think the move that they made with the hemp industry earlier this year to reopen the government, they already knew they were going to reschedule? And do you think the two moves have anything to do with each other? Like that was a precursor to get all the hemp THC products off the market, so that everything, to rescheduling it. Anybody got any feedback on that? That was just my first thought.
Yeah, it
That
seems hard to get it out of the gas stations and smoke shops. The THCA and all that. It was seemed to be mostly. I know it lowered some of the testing for hemp, but I really haven't looked through it. But it doesn't. It feeds. That's going to be an interesting one. But or someone will repeal it or do something. So, but I'll just keep an eye on it. That's what I got to do.
yeah, yeah, that's all we got to do. How about you, Duncan? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, having started operating in the hemp and CBD space in 2019 in Connecticut, that federal framework regarding THCA versus total THC and density ratios of edibles to THC. It's been a considerable reduction of the people I've been able to help year after year after year. And so it felt like Connecticut was sort of on the forefront of setting up this enforcement structure to, go after people who weren't necessarily following the law. And of course, we want that. We want safety. We want protection from children. We want high levels of education of how this plant works, how it interacts with us, sourcing, manufacturing protocols. But I am hesitant to say that this going to big pharma and to big medicine is going to be a good thing with Schedule 3. I think descheduling this plant and having it run through the Department of Agriculture as a crop and then manufacture products through the Department of Health
That
makes
would
more
be the
sense.
ideal way, yes.
Right. But as Joseph said, our ideals for how this industry rolls out aren't necessarily being met by brave legislators. They're listening to the big companies already operating, the people with tons of money.
Yep.
And quite frankly, they're not the right people to be leading much of anything, let alone this industry or being spokespeople for this plant. So I'm, like with everything else, we got to wait and see. Definitely getting things out of the gas stations and the grocery stores and, places that are exposing the youth and stuff. But my curiosity is if everybody, they say it was a THCA loophole and flower is just flower, and wherever it's, is it high THC or moderate THC or however people want to, cut definitions. My curiosity is if while all of this was federally banned and state by state, each state could only allegedly produce and manufacture in place, what's to say that the current operators didn't, under this THC loophole, import things and work with regulators to say, yeah, we grew that. That's ours. Who's to say anything is being
anything goes
on the level? Right, exactly. So that's my curiosity.
Nothing is as it seems. We know that in real life. But I wanted to get back to the competition real quick. So we had the winner on here with the new school strains. Well, how about tell me a little bit about the Sour Kush? Who was the grower on that? Where did it come from?
Absolutely. So that was his name is Josh. His Insta is Face Flavors, and his that Sour Kush really took it for everybody. I happened to be for the event. So again, Joseph and I and the Goblets of Fire organizational team, we didn't judge at all. But I was a bud tender, so I was very hands-on with doling out flour for judges. They'd come up, they'd say what number they were on. So I saw everything. I interacted with it. I felt it. I smelled it. It was experientially, it was a very like stimulating process, like, all those strains of flour and hash rosin. So I was really, kind of overwhelmed and blown away. Again, as Joseph said, the quality of the entries was high. For the new school strain, like some of these winners, and then further, entry winners were like a few points apart from each other. That's how the distinction of our judges was pretty fierce. So, but when
the Sour Kush too in that category, I knew that one was going to do well, because when I took a smell off the Sour Kush, I popped the jar, and it reminded me of, like, honestly, like 1998, like some almost like some sour diesel type notes to it. The way the bud had, like, it was kind of like a tighter nug structure. I was like, oh yeah, this thing is like a time machine.
It was like, for me,
do well. The other one I really loved that I saw were two other ones. Was like a really old school one, Acapulco Gold, which was like, this thing was like, when it came in, literally looked like it came out of High Times 1973. Had the the light trim job and everything. But let me tell you something: when you pop the jar on this thing, the lemons and just the terpene profile that came off of it was unbelievable. And the other one I want to mention was the Dave's Night Princess.
I'm losing you there.
Was and like
there you go.
Yeah,
sorry,
I think he.
It was so the Dave's Nigerian Princess, which came in number 2, was another
excellent. That was excellent.
Yeah,
yeah.
so I was
Yeah,
really,
that was like an old school haze, right? It was,
yeah, that was
South African
excellent.
haze he was on.
My main comment on that sour kush was it is exactly what it says it is. It looked and smelled exactly like sour kush. Like Joe said, it was like I opened up something back from the 90s, and it was awesome. That was my top pick, and another one, the Nigerian, was probably one of my other top picks. So kudos to you guys for bringing in a lot of good growers together, especially of the old school. Now, Joe, you say you're heading up to Maine right now to drop off the winner of the hash rosin. What is? Tell us a little bit about the farm you're heading up to right now.
so we're going to meet up. I'm going to meet up with Eric from Elm Cultivation up in Maine. He's a caregiver up here in Maine. He's got a whole plethora of hash rosins that he washes himself. He has a really all over the board list of strains that he grows, right into like old school sativas that take 130 days. Does a lot of soil grown stuff that takes a lot longer to grow. So these are the type of growers that we're looking to hook up with for these events, because not only do we want to find the best of the best, but we're trying to push this type of stuff out there educationally, like the clean practices, the routines, so this is how things start, how positive movements start, and we're trying to bring the community aspects a little more into the fold with these New England growers as well.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you've done a great job.
We see me and Duncan are talking to so many different people from the industry within the region, and we are seeing within the region almost a style like happened with the beers. Different styles are of growing and product are becoming popular and are becoming very regional. So we want to be right there when these things start to bubble up more and more. So I'm super happy with every. I mean, there was so many good entries. It was
another good one. I'm sorry I didn't get to try that. I didn't work that category, but I probably wouldn't have made it through the day if I had. But I figure at my age, old school was perfect for me. But Gabe, I want to bring you in now. We're talking about cultivation here. We're talking about actually creating like a certain scene here in Connecticut and a certain flavor and style. You're at the ground floor. You're one of the guys who supplies soil, who supplies genetics, who can help you get a tent put up. What are you seeing as within your little community of cultivators and both of your stores there? Is there a certain style that you see developing here in Connecticut? A certain type of genetics that's more popular? Is you seeing that starting to form and develop here now that we've had home grow for a couple of years?
The development now is a lot of new growers. That's what I know. A lot of new and a lot of older community people coming in because the stigma kind of gone in their eyes, so they want to grow. So they're all a lot of new, but more of the industrial is always leading towards cocoa and Athena. That's the newer side of the new experienced growers. And then the soil makers, living soil. Living soil is really, really popular. I can't keep it here. So like Colchester, the soil makers, that stuff flies off the shelf. So that brings out a good terpene profile.
And this is right here in Connecticut. These are yeah.
So so that's the one I noticed is the busiest, and then a lot of new growers, which get into auto flowers a lot, and but I just try to steer people to the best of what their capabilities are due to their water in their neighborhood. Well water, city water, distilled water. It's 3 different grows right there. So we try to down with that, and then go into what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, amongst your community,
Mm-hmm.
do you have any growers that you feel like next year could actually enter into the goblets of fire?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There were some that entered that I know of that were it was great. It was like I don't know, it was Joe, you were saying it. A lot of it was good quality. There was and once again with the judging, it just more or less seems to be more to each their own. So don't anybody who grew or got into this, don't take it personal. It wasn't rigged. It was great.
Yeah, we didn't know anywhere they came from. I had no
Right.
clue.
I had no idea. Yeah. And it was great. I was well done. Obviously, there's always room for making things better. But Joe, make sure you tell that guy in Maine he's got a $50 gift card with us, and whoever the other guy is. So
I'm going to pass that message along, and thank you, Gabe, because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Metatron and you, the Goblets of Fire would have been maybe half of what it was, because you brought in so many good entries. I am so proud of what you've built, between your 2 stores. Like, man, you have a great network out there, and thank you so much. And I'm excited to work with you going forward on these events.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Now, you guys had mentioned that you were going to do an awards ceremony type of thing. Is that still happening?
Yeah, so I'm going to put it out today. We announced it in our announcement, our video announcement the other day. This coming Saturday from 12 to 3, the judges who are the entries that won can come get their cups, and then anybody who was entered in the Goblets of Fire is welcome to come to Drip House from 12 to 3. We're gonna do a little informal sesh, give the goblets out, a little networking. I'm gonna invite the judges down. I know it's kind of last minute in terms of like we just announced, and I'm announcing this. I just wanted to give everybody an opportunity to get together. If they weren't able to make it, I will make sure that I personally get the goblet to them. So yeah, that's from 12 to 3 this Saturday at the Drip House. And if they're wondering the location of that, they could reach out to Drip House CT on Instagram for any directions or anything, as we keep that location kind of secret.
Well, I think I will stop down if I'm invited.
Of
I
course.
would love to come down. Great.
Of course, you and Gabe, anybody who was involved with goblets or, like I said, was a judge, helped in any kind of way, you don't even have to ask, just come.
Very cool. Matt, are you still there? Cool. Are you at work right now? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You gotta unmute.
It's usually me you're telling.
I know. Unmute, Matt. Unmute. I wanted to ask you a couple questions about the commercial cultivation there, but you're muted.
Slide over a couple and unmute.
Yeah, can I do that? Can I ask him to unmute? Oh, there we go.
No.
No.
Unmute. Oh,
there we go.
I'm back.
All right. So are you at work right now?
Yeah, I'm at work right now.
And so you're actually at the cultivation facility there in Mass.
Yeah.
Gabe and I were just talking about the different modes of growing. What are you guys using up there? Are you doing hydroponics? You doing soil? You doing cocoa? What in Mass?
We grow in soil here.
You grow in soil, and are you using living soil? What type of soil are you guys?
No, we use Pro Mix.
Okay, and you just add the newts to it.
And we have water in newts. Yep, everything's hand watered here.
All right, and so yeah, I want to. You are guys go with a more hand cultivated product, yes, rather
Yeah,
than
we're more of
machine
a
cultivated.
yeah, no, we're more of a craft place over here. We hand water everything in. I know a lot of spots run drippers and rock wool, and we're not doing that. Every single plant in the place gets, visually seen and touched every day, whether it needs water or doesn't need water. There's a lot of hands-on work that goes into it. We try to keep it crafted like that.
Is it hand trimmed as well?
Hand trimmed as well. Yep. So
That's not something you find very often in these larger. Now, you said you had 3 rooms,
3 flower rooms open. Yep.
right? So that's it's in now in Massachusetts standards. What size would that be? Would that be considered a smaller cultivator,
We're
a
a tier
medium,
one.
a
We're a
tier
tier
one?
one. So it's the smallest licensed facility basically that you can be. So yeah, there's about 12 of us in the building right now, and that's it. It's not a big, huge place. There's only 3 or 4 people in the grow rooms every day, if that. So there's not a lot of contamination. Everyone here really wants to be here. So
Well, yeah, I noticed you're walking around pretty casually, not in the
that
hazmat suit, you know.
that makes. I'm on my lunch right now. I took
So
lunch.
you're in the
So
lunchroom. Cool.
yeah. I'm just in the office right now.
Well, that's great. See, that's nice to hear because now I'm not walking around inside any of the cultivation facilities here in Connecticut, but you live here. I don't know if you've ever tried the products that
I
come from our dispensaries here.
No, I haven't. I live in Connecticut. I know all the regulation stuff in Connecticut, and I'm not a big fan of the MSOs and how that whole thing went down in Connecticut. I feel
No,
like
me
there's
neither, and it's
a
unfortunate. I
lot of
was
people who could do a better job. Not to knock the people that are there doing it, but I just think the law regulation side of everything could have been went about a little bit differently. And yeah, so I don't really purchase anything on the Connecticut market like that. Um,
well, especially when you have access to what you have access to, and
yeah, I do my own thing, and that's how I get to smoke.
yeah, no,
A little
that's great, and you
we're
know what?
allowed to have. Thankfully, we're allowed that, because I know for a while it was something they didn't even want you to be able to do that.
Well, yeah. Originally, they didn't even want that.
Yeah,
So
it's from them or nothing.
yeah, no, and that's very heartening to hear that like 12 people. That is a small cultivation facility. That is what I would call craft cannabis. Um, is your products are they available in all the dispensaries in Mass?
Um, what stores are we in? We're in a bunch of different stores. About 75 stores in Massachusetts we're in.
What's the brand name?
Breathe Free.
Breathe Free, and you guys have a whole line of products.
So we just do flower and pre-rolls. We don't have a
Nice.
manufacturing license currently. We're in the process of getting that. So all we really do is flower and pre-rolls, and we put all our focus on that. So we don't have edibles or vape carts or anything else but flower and
Well,
pre-rolls.
I think
So
that's the way to do it, right? Like
yeah.
really focus and create a niche. Sounds like you guys are. I mean, if you're winning awards and you said you're won the commercial award as well, not just your personal stuff,
Oh
correct?
yeah, we won first place rec pre-roll, and recently at Harvest Cup a couple months ago we took first place. Do you know what it was? First place something with the red taffy, uh, highest scoring overall ever strain, I guess, at the Harvest Cup with our red taffy from Doja Pack. We also grow for Doja and Be Easy in Massachusetts. So yeah, I
That's
enjoy
great.
I enjoy what I do. Thankfully, I have a job where I get to be able to do this and be around you know, a variety of different genetics and this and that. And hunting, we just popped 96 seeds into the dirt today. So in a couple months, we'll be seeing new stuff that, you know, could be the next biggest thing around, you know.
Great. Well, I hope you continue to share your your talents with
Sure.
us down here in Connecticut, even if it is at these contests or whatever. Because you definitely have a talent for growing, and I'm really glad that you are able to make a living at it and really put out some good products up there, Mass. Kind
Yes,
of
yes.
jealous. Kind of
It's
jealous.
not all me. You know, I'm just an employee here. I have a good grow mentor that shows me the way, and I'm able to succeed at home with, you know, having people around that you can ask questions to. And
Yeah, that
it's
really
good to have a
helps.
community around, you know, if something happens and you need help. It's always nice to have just a second brain thinking about what you got going on and how to change things and what you need to do to get it right.
All right. Well, Matt, thank you very, very much, man. Appreciate you
I
coming
got a
on.
quick.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I want to continue. We got a couple more minutes.
Where did you find the Fisher cream pie? Was that from seed? Was that from clone?
That was from clone. That was a cut that I had gotten.
From there.
No, I got this from one of my other buddies.
You know, it'd be
It's nice to have a
nice.
community to share with. You know, some people are willing to share with you if you share with them, and you know, it's something that I really liked. So I was like, oh, get that.
Well, Matt, feel free when you come down to pick up your gift card. I don't know what part of Connecticut you live in. Just share some genetics with Gabe there, so that we can spread the good stuff down here in Connecticut to some of our home cultivators.
Yep.
But that would be great. So Gabe, I wanted to ask you real quick. I know you have a class coming up tomorrow night, and you got to always have a bunch of different things going on
Mm-hmm.
over there at both your stores. Tell us a little bit about
So,
what's happening with what you got going on, especially for the holidays. I know you got some sales too.
Dana, I don't think I punched out. I thought I did, but I didn't.
on your work. Anyways, no, real quick. I'm doing a mushroom class tomorrow from 5 p.m. My college is coming here to teach us how to grow our own mushrooms. We have kits that are going to be on sale, $79.99 for a 28 quart and 66 quart for $149. It's the dome. It comes inoculated, ready to go. We're also doing 10% extra on gift cards. So if you buy a $100 gift card, you're going to get a free $10 gift card. 20% off all Gorilla tents and 10% off all stocking stuffers. So it's those last minute things.
Yeah, no, what a great thing to find in your stocking, but a nice pack of seeds or something, you know. Those are always, I always think they're great stocking
Yeah.
stuffers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to tell you all different things.
So this is Tuesday night. You're actually going to have somebody come down
Yep.
and explain how to grow fungi.
Yes. He will inoculate. He's going to have a flow hood, everything here tomorrow night to get going and just, help anyone with their new cultivation of mushrooms. So I don't even know if
Right.
but it's I'm still learning how to do it. I've had some success, I've had some bad ones as well, but this guy will help us all through it. So he's really Scorcher 2000 is an Instagram. He's very knowledgeable in what he does. So
And if they wanted more information, they can follow you on Instagram for tomorrow night. And then in Meriden, when are you doing it in Meriden?
Meriden, we had Seed Dog this past weekend. Next weekend, I think we're having Brooklyn Breaking Boys. So I'm gonna call him and reach out. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I got it. When are you bringing him to Milford? I got to come see
Yeah,
him.
so yeah.
He's got to come down to Milford before the holidays.
Yeah, that's the plan. So we're hoping to do it this weekend. So
All right, so everybody follow Gabe on the Instagram and everything to figure out what's going on down there. He always has a lot of cool stuff, and even if you just want to go hang out, it's always a good time. Duncan,
Yes, Joe.
what's happening over at Better Ways? Tell us a little bit about what you got going on this season and how things are going over there for you in Brantford.
For sure. So we have our holiday season store sale. You can shop online using the discount code or come on in. So that's 20% off the whole store. And then we're also doing an additional 5% off for every, it doesn't have to be crazy, but a nominal toy. We are a Toys for Tots collection site for the Brantford Masonic Temple, and then all of that ties into the Greater New Haven hospitals. For me, with my medical history, when I was
Right.
young, I remember being a recipient of the toy closet. So this is, I think, our 5th season through the Masons having this collection point, and it just feels, again, along with our community and this plant, it just feels so good to be able to give back, not just this time of the year, but around the clock, every step of the way. So if you can dig deep a little extra this year, guys, you have a toy, you have something for donation, please come by the Brantford location.
Excellent, excellent, Duncan. Thank you again for coming on. And Joe, I wanted to bring you on real quick because I wanted to thank both of you guys.
It's about to die, but really quick, everybody follow Goblets of Fire 420. Stay tuned. Me and Duncan have been talking. We've been talking with the other organizers. We're thinking about doing, more quarterly rosin only type events, and then, obviously the yearly Goblets of Fire with everything.
How about some edibles events?
Down the line, I just, with me, like Gabe said, it's very hard with the effect, and above everything, the first thing in this arena we have to be aware of is safety because of the nature of everything. We're building it from ground up, and safety's number one. I don't want to put anybody out of sorts during a judging competition. We'll figure it out when we get to that. In the next few years, we will figure out how to incorporate them, though.
Of course. Very, very good, guys. I want to thank you all for coming on. I want to thank you all for what you do out there in the community, especially you, Duncan, for bringing the toy drive and always being supportive of the cannabis community. You, Gabe, the same. Joe, the same. Everybody here. Uncle Lou, unfortunately, had to go to a meeting. Matt, I wanted to thank you for coming on and for all what you're doing up there in Massachusetts as well as here in Connecticut. Any last words from anybody? Gabe?
Got some sales. We'll help you grow. There's no obligation to buy. It's always just here to teach and educate.
All right. And how about you, Duncan?
Just really excited for what's coming up next, but just overall reminder, don't be scared about the laws. If you have questions, use your resources, reach out to Joseph, reach out to myself, reach out to the crew over at Greenhaven, reach out to the Canna Warriors.
I'll show you how to get around the laws.
Yeah. And just remember that, the government's trying to figure it out, but our community's already figured it out. And that's really what's important. So thanks everybody, and just hold fast over the next few months with this legislative change.
That's right. And I just wanted to mention that the Burn and Learn Christmas party is this Friday evening. So if you guys want to come out and celebrate with the community, y'all know where that is, up in North Brantford. You can follow Burn and Learn to find out more. You can follow Duncan at Better Ways LLC. You can follow Gabe at Metatron Homegrown. Matt, do you want to give out your social media real quick, or are you too busy at work? Unmute.
I got it this time. All right. What was the question?
Do you want to give out your social media real quick?
Rolex Rolls, ROLAX_rolls. Or if you wanted to check what we're doing at work, it's Breathe Free Co. or Breathe Free 222 _.
All right. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I encourage anybody who's heading up to Massachusetts for the holidays to check out Breathe Free. If you just happen to be stopping at one of those stores up there. And I appreciate you coming on, Matt. Congratulations on the win. And
Thank you.
we hope to be talking to you soon and tasting more of your delicious product. All
Thank
right,
you.
guys, everybody, thank you all for coming on. Next week, we have Rick Naya, the great grandfather of cannabis, to come on, and we will talk to you then. Duncan, Gabe, Matt, thank you. Joe, Lou, we love you all. Harry, hit that music.
Peace,
I'm ready to
everyone.
roll.
Have a good one.
All right, man.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Harry. Yeah. All right. You like, share, subscribe at Joe the Weed Guy or at Green Haven Media or at Cannabis Corner Radio. We'll see you all next week. Thanks again. We love you all. Peace and love.